Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Wren.
I'm Angeline.
And I'm Nameera.
Welcome to Season 2, Episode 7 of Operation Tomatometer, Townsend Harris's very own film and review podcast.
So, if you haven't been possessed by blood magic, then you know about Netflix's newest release, The School for Good and Evil.
This action-packed, whimsical film, based on the 2013 novel by Soman Chainani, follows two best friends, Sophie, played by Sophia Anna Caruso, who dreams of living a life as lavish as a fairy tale princess, and Agatha, played by Sophia Wiley, a misfit who faces persecution in her small town. But the two find themselves on opposite sides of the battlefield when Sophie is transported to the School of Evil and Agatha is transported to the School of Good, enchanted educational institutions wherein aspiring villains and heroes are trained to guard the balance of good and evil. Sophia and Agatha's friendship is tested when a mysterious figure appears, threatening to destroy the school and the rulebook forever.
Dun dun dun.
Now let's get into the episode.
Okay, I guess I'll start because I have very strong opinions about the opening scene.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like the idea of the opening scene. Like, it was cool to see, like, two different kind of, like, people who are part of, like, the origin story almost, right?
Yeah.
And we're getting kind of, like, how they're brothers, and are they twins? They look very...
I think they're twins.
Yeah, they look very similar, right? So, yeah, they're
Because they're
twins.
supposed to be equal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe not identical. But I think that at some points I was just starting to cringe, and that's really bad for, like, an opening scene. Specifically with, like, the magic.
Like the battle, like the CGI.
The CGI, but also the dialogue. Like, you've always been the better half. Like, the better
That's,
one.
like, obviously.
This is
he's
a
good.
very, like, 2010s, like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
It's like one of those, like, spin-off movies.
Mm-hmm. No,
Well,
definitely.
it's based on a book from 2013. I also had to look it up. Apparently this was written before Descendants, so
Oh.
Do you guys,
Descendants,
yeah, but do you guys
came
also remember,
after.
like, Ever After High?
that's true. Wait, I never, was that a book or
That was
a...
a animated series, but
It also kind of reminds me of, like, Every Which Way.
it's just everything. It's an amalgamation of like, but it has that Riverdale Netflix taste attached to it. So like
Yeah.
the dialogue is very like,
Wait,
oh my god.
Riverdale CW, don't play.
Oh, whoa, sorry.
No
my bad,
offense,
my bad.
Netflix.
Oh,
CW?
sorry.
No, it's like Doctor Strange, Frozen. Yeah, there were lots of those aspects. Harry Potter and then Descendants.
It was.
all in
They
one
were trying to
movie.
tackle everything, but I don't
Yeah.
think they had the budget, nor did they have the writing to like live up to it.
Well,
There was no budget. Like,
Oh.
yeah.
it was looked like there was.
I think it's hard for these book to movie adaptations though, because like I think when it's being written, they don't believe, or at least this book had a lot of like magical aspects to it that it wasn't like they were writing it so it could be done on film
Yeah.
or live action. So it makes sense. But in this day and age, you could do better.
No,
Technology
definitely.
is good enough.
Definitely. Also, can we just go and hop right into like Sophie's character?
Oh.
Oh my gosh, I abhorred her. Okay. I know,
vocabulary.
both heavy words, but like, I detested her character so much from the very beginning. Like, right after she she had such a good, such an interesting premise too. You know, this girl who was always told, like, the overall premise of her character, right? She's always been told that she's going to change the world, but maybe she's going to change the world for bad than good, you know, which is what she assumed she would be. But the way her dialogue, her, like, I don't know, everything just
Cringy.
annoys me. It's
Yeah.
so bad. It was so terrible.
It's like they took the cliches of like fairy tales and then reversed them, but didn't do it correctly.
Yeah, she was like, oh, I'd die for my friend, but I'm gonna leave her also. And also,
Ooh.
I'm a strong, independent woman who really
needs a first
wants a kiss, and everything I do is gonna be for a kiss. Right. And so, from her character, let's hop into, like, the feminism, or, like,
Yeah.
you know, feminist
theory.
perspective.
I like those air quotes. I agree.
Yeah.
Something that, like, I just really hate is, like, I couldn't relate to any of the characters. Like, in general, they were just, like, I felt like I was just watching a movie that was, like, almost like a fan fiction.
Yes!
No,
Wattpad fanfiction
no,
movie.
Yeah, I was like, okay, like, when does this pick up? Where's the saving grace? And it just kind of, like, never came. But I think the concept must have been good. Maybe it did attract a lot of fans from the actual book series, but I wonder if they took it as well.
No, if I was a fan, I'd be so... I just don't think that, because especially in books, you kind of have to have a character that your readers can, like, relate to or like, and I just don't see how Sophie could be that.
I would assume that in the book there was more inner conflict in Sophie, so that her character was more, like, understood by the readers, but...
Yeah, and I think, like, I thought film as a whole, like, we've moved past that whole, like, girls wear poofy dresses and that means they're evil. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like how they were like
that's what she did reverse that.
Yeah.
Tiny bit.
Eventually.
No, but there's this one scene I remember with Agatha in like smiling class, right?
Yeah.
Where she was like, "Are you telling us that like the film was being self-aware of its own like little like, you know, thing like how I don't know, I guess, but I don't know. I just hate the feeling that girls are made fun of for liking traditionally feminine things, like, I don't know, like dressing well, like, you know, what they want, you know, dresses, things like that, and it's kind of the joke of the film, like, it's definitely like a joke, it's made fun of, it's definitely like, oh, look at these silly girls, and they're, I don't know.
It's giving 2010, like,
no,
that whole, like, revolution.
Yes, it's the whole, like, oh, I'm not like the other girls. It definitely, that's what I didn't like about Agatha's character.
I'm just kind of, like, confused as to why Netflix kind of picked this up, if I'm being quite honest.
They haven't been doing that good.
Like, I'm just saying, like, compared to, say, like, Bridgerton, which is also Netflix, it's very honed in on, like, poofy dresses, like, reinventing something. But this movie, it's trying to reinvent, but it's just kind of, like, lacking sorely. And I don't even think, like, the acting was all that great.
No. Let's talk about the plot. I think they left the end really open in the hopes that they would get a second movie, because, like...
No!
They would have... Okay, well, what I'm saying is, like, they were following the book, which, like, was obviously leaving it open for a second book, but...
Let's leave the sequels to do
much.
Like...
I think that was the most cliche way to like leave a story open ever.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a voice on the other side of the tree calling for her. I don't know. Also, going back to something we mentioned before, like Agatha and Sophie's friendship just did not make sense.
Yeah, it was like up and down.
It was like these two. I don't know. I feel like their characters had no chemistry, and it was
like
just,
it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, they're friends because we're telling you they're friends.
Yeah.
Like we introduced them as friends and they're friends, and it's like I don't see that at all, personality wise or like.
Here's a big issue with me. This book is so focused on like magic and world building, but I don't feel like we get the world building that we need.
No, not
that's
at
the
all.
main issue. That's it. Yeah, I couldn't immerse myself. I couldn't believe anything that was happening because it's just kind of like I'm like very like aware that this is like a movie. This is about these two people, but like nothing's really like relating to me. Nothing's really connecting to me. So I'm just kind of like okay.
Well, but I did like that one scene where Sophie was battling the other evil chick and like the dragon crawls out of her shoulder.
Oh yeah.
That was so cool. I was like the dragon shoulder thing. That was sick. And
it was reminded me of Game of Thrones kind of.
Yes.
And then they did nothing with that.
I liked
though.
that character. I wanted to know more about their powers because they got that
Yes,
whole bird thing, and
what
then
is
it's like,
that?
what is their powers?
I
Like
bet the
Agatha
book
just started
explains
turning
it.
into a bird.
Yeah, like
Since when? What was Sophie's powers? Bees?
evil.
That doesn't make sense.
They could have explained that world building.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you want to give it a score?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we already up to that?
Yeah.
I'm giving it a 68.
60.
62.
You guys are so harsh.
So 63.
It's a kids movie though. We have to remember.
It's not though.
We're kids.
It's not because
We're kids. Sorry, I'm losing it, guys.
I'm a little senior. Girl, I'm a little 17-year-old senior. I don't.
Sorry, guys. It's been a long day.
I should never go first with rating.
No, it's not bad.
I don't know. I feel like I don't have a good. Do you guys watch Good Mythical Morning ever?
No.
I've seen a couple.
I know who they
Whenever
are.
they do the gut checks, like one of them does not know how to like range his scores.
Wait, which
so
one?
he gets
Link?
Link, and so he gets this like thing to help him with his scores, like all reference points.
Oh, okay.
I need that. Because I feel like, what did I rate, what was the last movie you watched?
Ticket to Paradise, right? Was the last one?
No,
No. Halloween. Yeah.
What did we give that?
I don't remember. We can be inconsistent.
Yeah. It's based on our mood.
Yeah, and I'm very angry right now, and so 60%.
I think it won't be memorable. It's not memorable
No.
as like, if you're gonna tackle on such a like reinventing, revolutionizing genre, you have to do it like justice because it's been done before. It's been done in many ways. Harry Potter to like other sorts of like mythical magic. Descendants, literally.
Literally Descendants, but worse.
I just feel like it's also just a big problem with cinema too. We're all doing the same thing. We see that something makes money and we just remake
Someone
it.
has to make an original story.
Be new!
Stop doing book
Be
adaptations.
new! But
We also don't need sequels.
Yeah.
I might find the urge to do something.
Wow. Talk about it, ooh. Okay.
What?
I was thinking of sequels and then going to Alvin and the Chipmunks, and those sequels are awesome.
Oh, no. The only people who are allowed to make sequels are Alvin and the Chipmunks. I would love to see a third one where it's like a rom-com between the
Chipettes.
The Chipettes.
Chipettes and Alvin.
That's amazing. Okay.
Anyways.
Score. So are we good with a 63, 64?
63.
Ooh,
Yeah,
63.
63.
That is our final score for this episode.
I think that about wraps up today's episode. Stay tuned for more Tomatastic content from Operation Tomatometer on Apple Podcasts, and check out the Classic and Classic Critic on Instagram and TikTok page at THHS to see our bloopers, behind the scenes, and other cool projects we're working on.
Let us know in the comments what you thought of today's episode.
Thanks for watching. Bye!
Bye.